Hi everyone, my name is Ricky and this is another What's Next video here in North County, San Diego. This is Duluth Canyon. It's absolutely beautiful today. It's actually really warm. I've already been out, I've weeded my garden, and today I'm going to put up a little trellis here because I've transplanted a couple things. So with that, it's going to be a short video. I just want to let you all know how things are going here today. Some of you are family and friends that like to see what's going on with me, and everything is going good. But I have all kinds of things starting to grow, and of course this time of year they just take off. This is a microclimate here, similar to the Mediterranean, so things grow, just about anything grows here. So why don't we take a look at what I've got going on today, and I'll stop the camera and we'll go take a look. So let's start off with the fact that I got this all weeded out today, and I moved a few things out of the greenhouse over there and into this part of the garden to catch a little bit more sun than what they were getting inside the structure there. These were really tiny cloves of garlic there, and they're looking really good. These are purple Cherokee tomatoes that were volunteers for my last year's crop. These are tea plants, and I got them online, and they are very small right now, and I don't know how quickly they grow, but they've been growing real slow in the greenhouse, so I thought I'd bring them out here. If you haven't done this before, this is basil, and I just bought a basil plant from the store. I used what I wanted from it, and then I put it in the ground. And this is how I kind of start my basil each year, except for the ones that when I do have seed, then I use that seed, but unfortunately the seed got all messed up for some reason this year. These are leftover manganjee peppers. I don't know if they're going to survive the season, but I've got brand new ones to go in their place if they don't. I have some great cilantro. This is only about maybe 3 weeks old, 4 weeks old. And this is some baby cilantro coming up in here. Little tiny ones. Well, this will take care of that. When that gets old, when I use that up, then that will be ready to go. Goji berries are looking great. And this giant artichoke plant. All of my garlic. It looks absolutely beautiful. And I have a really nice big giant stand, not a big giant, but a pretty healthy bunch of ice cream bananas. That's the name of that type of banana right there. And those things should be ready in about maybe 2 weeks if it keeps warm like this. I got some nice strawberries coming up. I have already eaten a couple of them today. There's a few that are on here that don't, well, maybe they look okay and they will green up. Or turn red rather, and then I'm going to work on this to clean them up. They have a little bit of work to go. This is crazy. This is all oregano, and it just goes crazy. I have to cut this way back. I save it every year. I mean, I cut a bunch of it out, I dry it and give it away. So let's go inside and take a look at the greenhouse. Before we do that, this is a transplant that I just put in. I've had this in a pot for quite some time now. This is a passion fruit. Passion fruit loves to climb. I'll show you one of those in a second. That is a different type of passion fruit. It's called a banana passion fruit. This one is just a standard purple passion fruit. My rhubarb is coming back alive, and the grapes. Look at all these grapes. This is a grapevine, and I've got grapes everywhere. That little thing right there will turn into some wonderful grapes. Everything in here has grapes on it. It's going to be loaded, so that'll be a wonderful thing happening for me. Over here, my arugula. I've been eating this, but I think we're beyond eating this anymore. It's getting really leggy. It's going to want to go to seed. And I also have some of these that I have to pick through because a white fly got in here. This is purple or freckled romaine. And this is really good lettuce. I love that. My curly lettuce is doing real well too. This is kind of laying over because I used the hose to water this, and I knocked it all down. But I eat this every night. And there's some more freckled romaine. Now, if you're worried about snakes around here. Yes, we have them. I have a beautiful one I'm going to show you. So if you don't like snakes, pause it or fast forward this for 1 minute and you won't see this beautiful gopher garden snake that's coming. Can you see it? Can you see it? I hope you can. It's absolutely beautiful. A great big garden snake. And it is my friend out here because it keeps those rats at bay. And I don't know if it's a he or she, but it's a beautiful snake. How are you, my friend? How are you? Oh, don't worry, I'm not gonna come and get you. Oh, you're pretty. She's big. Okay, I'll leave you alone. Don't worry. I won't bother you. Keep hunting. Get those gophers. Okay, we're inside the greenhouse now, and yes, this is my next root burrow that I'm going to be doing. It's already been promised to a friend, a neighbor, and my landlord, and it's going to take me a little while to carve on that. I just haven't gotten around to do it. I have a nice fan that I'm going to be turning on to help blow that real fine dust out the back end of this little greenhouse structure. And my little rodent trap down there works real well. I have avoided having my third time around having them climb up here and eat all of my sprouts. So I'm lucky here. I took the fence around this off. Grow lights are still working here at night, and these are things that haven't quite come up yet. There's a couple that are starting to come up, but the rest of these have not started to peek out of the soil yet. And those would be shishito peppers, collard green. I think my okra, none of that has come up over there yet. All of these have come up. Manganji, pepperoncini. Let's see, what else do I have? Tahitian squash. Those have all come up really well. So that's what's going on in the greenhouse for right now. Beets have come out from the greenhouse and now they're up here. Hopefully the extra sun will get them getting a little bit less leggy and maybe get a little bit bigger so I can transplant them out there to the garden. This is a 1 year old, oh maybe 2 years old, it depends on when it was grafted. But this is a seedless Concord, and I can see that I have lots of grapes going to be coming onto this as well. Yeah, there's quite a few on this. My compost bin is starting to get full, so I am going to be turning this in about a week, taking what's underneath it and moving some of that out to the garden. And this is how I start it, how my compost has been going all winter. Now that it's warming up, the worms should start coming up to this a little bit more vigorously, and then we'll take a look and see how they're doing underneath this. If they're not all the way up yet, then I'll leave it alone. I wait till the worms are actually almost about maybe 3 or 4 inches from the surface before I take any of this out. This is called a centipede plant. It is a very unusual plant. It's usually a house plant, but it grows really pretty out here. All this dead stuff was from the frost that we had last year, and it just froze this, so it didn't do well, but it all has come back again, really healthy. These are ferns that are indigenous to this canyon. I went way back up in the hills there, and I found these underneath some of the oak, scrub oak, and this is what used to grow out here prolifically when it used to be a very wet climate out here. And right here is just a couple house plants that I've got sitting out here. And this here, that plant, it goes here, and it comes up here, and it goes here, and it branches out. It goes up and over. And this is another passion fruit. So this is what passion fruit does when you start one of them. They just like to grow and grow and grow, and they will bear fruit, beautiful fruit. I love that fruit. Golden berries, they haven't had a lot of sun, so they're not doing all that well right now. You all have seen Miss cousin It here. She loves to dance with me out here when I water her. She is actually a moving piece of garden art. She's on a structure that wobbles. So when the wind blows or when I water her, she likes to wiggle like that. And there's another one of those over there. We have blackberries, and they're starting to come up now. I don't see any. Well, there's a bud. There's going to be buds, flowers. So pretty soon we're going to have this full of flowers, and I'll be getting blackberries coming up not too long. And if you've got allergies, this is not the right place to be. I have allergies. I'm kind of allergic to this oak tree, and they're all doing this in the canyon. So thank goodness to Flonase. That helps a lot. This is all pollen. So this whole thing is nothing but pollen. And you can imagine that if you've got bad allergies, this is just like horrific. Asian pears. This one hasn't come up and started to show any blossoms or leaves yet. I'm waiting for it. It should do that, and then all of a sudden it'll explode. This one here I got online, and I got this from a nursery. And this one here is called a New Century. And if you can snapshot that QR code, you'll see where I got that from. And it's New Century Asian pear. And I no sooner put it in the ground and it started growing little leaves on this thing. Really good. So everything is getting overgrown as far as the weeds go out there. Grass goes, and they will be out here weed whacking when they're done harvesting. All of those kumquats out there, all those trees are just loaded with kumquats. Well, I got this one down. It's beautiful guava. Let's see what it tastes like. Oh my, that is delicious. Let's go look at a fig. That's another big fig tree, and lots of figs on this one as well. And the reservoir is turning green. So I saw the frogs hopping around in here, so it's going to be another big tadpole day. The goldfish are in there too. Let's see if they will come out. Yeah, look at that. You can see them there. So those are goldfish. There are some koi in here, but there's a big egret that comes through here and snatches them up. So the bigger fish don't really survive too well with that big white egret that comes in here. And pretty soon we're going to have this full of this moss and thousands of pollywogs. I'm sure of that. If anything is like last year, if you saw my videos with pollywogs, that will be happening next year. Or this year. This is a ginger plant. So if you plan to plant ginger and you wonder how big it'll get, this is how big it is. It's taller than me. And this is only a couple years old. But this is what ginger will do if you plant them in the ground. They grow big. This is a mulberry, and it has not started to bloom. It was planted as a different variety than this is, which is, I believe, a Persian mulberry. And it has mulberries starting to grow on it. That's what mulberries look like when they're little tiny. And they're pollinating right now. And this is a mulberry. And this one too is just loaded with mulberries. This is just really crazy. And there's one that's starting to ripen already. That's kind of early. Maybe something went wrong with that one, but that's the mulberry. They get real big. Oh yeah, look, there are some already. These are dried out from last year. So mulberries. This is going to be loaded with mulberries. lots of cherimoyas. This tree has got a lot of cherimoyas. This one's right up by the house and it's loaded. So hopefully I'll be able to take several of these to market, to the farmer's market in Old Town Temecula on Saturday. And these may not, or they might go to one of the Whole Foods markets or Bristol Farms or one of those other kinds of markets that take organic food. I'm not too sure who they all sell to, but this is the Cunningham Organic Farm, and everything here is no pesticides, no herbicides, organic fertilizers, and big oak trees. Really unusual to see guavas on this tree this late. They late bloomers. These are coming out late and it hasn't really even bloomed yet, but yet we've got some guavas on here. Oh, there's a ripe one right there. I think I'll pick it and eat it. Yep, it fell off in my hand. Another tasty guava. A different variety though. Here's a tree that's got blossoms on it, but once again, what's odd is that there are random fruits that have started early, and this is what this is, pawpaw fruit, and that's ready to eat. Well, let's see what this tastes like. Oh my goodness sakes, pudding-like. That is really good. Here's another pawpaw tree. Pawpaw or pawpaw, whatever, P-A-W, and it's a little different variety, I think. But you don't find these in the supermarkets. You do find them in the farmers markets, though. We do sell them at the Temecula Old Town Farmers Market on Saturdays. Look at all these little spiders fighting over one little white fly down there. That is because this reservoir has not been drained for a little while, hasn't been used for irrigation. The shoreline or the edges of it have gotten quite warm, and it looks like I am going to be doing some repair work on it again this year. I fixed that 2 years ago, but this giant fig tree keeps lifting up this edge and cracking the reservoir. So I fill it up with hydraulic cement, and it's good for another year or two. There's a frog. I heard that a few minutes ago. Right there. Can you see it? So it won't be long before we got pollywogs. It warms up a little bit more. That'll be the end of my video for today. I hope you enjoyed the little tour, and I'll be making another one soon, so stay tuned and thanks for watching.